Welcome to i4 Institute. I am Khushbu, working as .NET software developer in i4 Technolabs Private Limited. This series is about .NET framework. In last session, I discussed about Ajax. In this session, I am going to talk about Linq. In this session, I am going to cover the following points: architecture of Linq, advantages of Linq, IEnumerable versus Iqueryable, and query operator. So let's start with what is Linq. Linq, that is a language integrated query, is a Microsoft programming model and methodology that essentially adds formal query capabilities into Microsoft .NET based programming languages. Linq offers a compact and expressive syntax for manipulating data. The language integrated part means that Linq is a part of programming language syntax. Here you can see the architecture of a Linq. Linq has a three-layered architecture in which the uppermost layer consists of a language extensions, that is C#, VB and others, and bottom layer consists of data sources that are typically objects, relational and XML, implementing IEnumerable T or Iqueryable T generic interfaces. Linq enabled data sources have following types, that is Linq to objects, Linq to dataset, Linq to SQL, Linq to entities and Linq to XML. Linq to dataset, Linq to SQL, Linq to entities, collectively said to be ADO.NET Linq technologies. Now language integrated query, an innovation introduced in Visual Studio 2008 and .NET Framework version 3.5 that bridges the gap between the world of objects and the world of data. Traditionally, queries against data are expressed as simple strings without type checking at compile time or IntelliSense support. Linq makes a query a first-class language construct in C# and Visual Basic. Write queries against a strongly typed collection of objects by using language keyword and familiar operators. Now, next question arise in your mind is, what is Linq to object, Linq to XML and Linq to ADO.NET. So let's have a look one by one in detail. First one is Linq to object. It deals with in-memory data. Any class that implements the IEnumerable interface can be queried with standard query operators. For example, here you can see I want to select the greetings which is completed with Linq. Then by below syntax, I got the result. Here you can see I declared a variable items. In that items, I am just collecting a data which ends with Linq. So in Linq, we can write as from as in greetings. S is nothing but alias of greeting, where s dot ends with Linq. So every character, every word will be fetched which ends with Linq. And we can select S. Then we have to for each loop for the variable item. So in for every loop we will get our result, and finally we got hello Linq. This is Linq to XML. This provider converts an XML document to a collection of X element objects, which are then queried against using the local execution engine that is provided as a part of implementation of the standard query operator. Here is the example. If I want to get book titles of the particular author name, then here is the syntax from book in books.elements book. Here book is an alias of books, where string of book.element author equal to Steve Nolle. So author which is equal to Steve Nolle will be only filtered. Select book.element title. I just want a title column, so it will be only a title column is selected. Now I am doing same thing for each loop for the variable titles. So at the end I will get the result of books having author Steve Nolle. Now the last one is Linq to ADO.NET. Deals data from external sources, basically anything ADO.NET can connect to. Any class that implements IEnumerable or Iqueryable can be queried with standard query operators. The Linq to ADO.NET functionality could be achieved by using system.data.linq namespace. Here is an example. Here you can see there is a data context class DC1 is equal to new data context data class is one, data context. Here in variable hotel, what I am storing is from H in dc1.tbl hotels. H is nothing but alias of TBL hotels, where h.ct equal to London. Select h.hotel name. So I get only hotel names where the city is London. Now same thing you can do for each loop for your desired result. Now we learned theory for a link queue. Now it's time to implement. First of all, when you are creating an MVC application using a link queue, you have to just first of all to do a connection with your database. Here you can see in my web config file in connection strings, I added add name, that is a link queue test connection string that is data source where your database is stored, initial catalog, that is a database name, user ID and password. Here you can see user DBML file. It is nothing but I want a link queue for these two tables, department and user. So how can you do this? You have to right click on a project, add new item. In data, you have to go to link queue to SQL classes. Then rename your class and then click on add. It will be just your this. Now here you can see there is a department and user table. You just have to drag and drop, which I already did in this file. So no need to do this. Now it's time for creating a model. Here you can see I created a user model having a following properties, that is public integer ID, public string name, public string email, public integer age, public integer department ID and public string department name. Now let's move to controllers. Here you can see there is a controller for user controller. Now what is this iUser repository? Here in model you can see I created an interface, iUser repository. In that I created a methods, that is get user by ID, insert user, delete user, update user, get user by age, get user email, get user order by name, get distinct user and get departments. So where is the logic implemented? It is in user repository class. Here you can see above user repository class is inherited from iUser repository. Here I am doing a private user data context. It is nothing but data context of, you can see here I am going to, here you can see it is a data context class. It is nothing but your DB connectivity with your SQL server. Now let's move to user repository class. Here you can see I implemented a logic for all the method, that is get users, get user by ID, insert user, delete user, update user, get user by age, get user emails, get user order by name, get distinct user, get departments, everything. Now let's go to view. Here you can see I just provided an action link for every user. Here you can see create new, create, get user by age, get user age. This is a name which I want to display for a link, and this is an action name in a controller. So in my controller you can see there are different methods for each of them. Create, edit, delete, get user by age, user by order name and everything. Now let me run this application. You can see here demo page of an application. I am navigating to user. Here you can see there are 5 data. 5 names, that is Avni, Rachi, Khushbu, Rachi is repeated, that is Rachi, and Payal. Now what I want is get user by age. Now let me show you my logic. Here you can see get user by age. When I will click on get user by age, it will call this get user by age, because in my view, here you can see in my view, when I will click on get users by age, it will call get user by age. So in my controller, it is get user by age. Now this is an object for repository. Here you can see I just created an object for repository class. Now what I am doing is I am just calling this repositories method get user by age by sending static value, that is 20. So it will filter all the data where user is age. Now let me show you what is my logic in my get user by age method. Here you can see by default I passed integer age equal to 20. So this is a simple Linq where user list have list of user model. Now what will happen from you in data context dot user. So data context will have 2 tables, that is users and departments, because we connected our 2 tables in our SQL, that is the users and departments. So data context will have 2 tables. What I am doing is data context user, that is that have alias u, where u dot age equal to age, that is this age having value 20, and select u means it will select all the records where age equal to 20. Now if I want the same thing by lambda expression, then you can do by this data context dot user, that is table name dot where condition bracket open x dot age will be in from this user, this age will be from this user table, and equal to age, that is a parameter what we want to compare dot to list, so it will return a list. Now after that what will I do is I am just for looping my list. Now let me show you. What I'm doing is I'm clicking on get user by age. It will return me only 2 records having age equal to 20. Now there is another one is get user by order name. So let me explain you. Here you can see get user by order name calls get user by order name. So I will search for get user by order name in my controller. It is here. In that I am calling get user by order name. So I will go through user repository. And I am searching for get user by order name. So it is here. Here you can see for lambda expression, what I have to do is just use a user table, that is data context dot user dot order by. What I want user by order name. So this p will be alias of this user having p dot name. So it will be filtered ordered by with name. Let me show you. You can here see Avni, Khushbu, Payal, Rachi. These are ordered by a name. Now get user by age group. Let me show you. In my index you can see here get user by age group is calling get user by age group. So I will search for this get user by age group. Here you can see it is get user by age group. I want two groups, that is user by filter user by a 20 and filter user by 25. So this will return user by 20 as I already told you how, and this will return user by 25. Now what I want is I want to merge this data. So lambda in Linq you can do this by dot union. You can see here it is done by dot union. So this union will what will do? user of 20 dot union user of 25. It means this will both be unioned. Let me show you. Here you can see 4 records are given, that is get 20 and 25. Both are unioned. Now last one is get users department. You can see get users department is called get user by department. So I will search for get user by department here. It is same. In users by department, I am storing two lists, that is users, that is get users. I will get all the users. I will get all the departments. In this all the users are there, and in this all the departments are there. Now what I'm doing is I'm joining this two table because I want get users all by department. So what will I do? From U in users, U is for users, join D in department. D is for department. What I am doing is I'm joining two tables with their ID, department ID. So U dot department ID equals to D dot department ID. Now select new user model. What I want to display is, what I want to select is only ID, name, email, age and department name, nothing else. So I will only select those columns. Here you can see variable user equal to user item dot to list, and this list will be shown here. Now you can see here I used a join. So this is for joining two tables. Inner join. It will work as inner join. Now let me show you at users department. You can see here I just got all the department name here. Now let's go back to get all users. Now last one is get top 2 user. In index you can see for get top 2 user I used get top 2 record. I'm searching for method get top 2 record. Here it is. In this again I'm getting two variables. In each variable the list of all users and list of all departments. Again what I'm doing is I am just joining it by department ID. Now what I want is I just want to take top 2. So in Linq this is possible by dot take. So user items have multiple items, but dot take 2 will select only top 2 records. Now let me show you. Here you can see it is returning top 2 records. So this is a simple applications of Linq by lambda expression and by simple Linq. Now here are some of the advantages of Linq. By using Linq, user can write more accurate queries easily. Writing codes is quite faster in Linq and thus development time also get reduced. Viewing relationship between two tables is easy with Linq due to its hierarchical feature, and this enables composing queries joining multiple tables in less time. It is extensible, that means it is possible to use knowledge of Linq to query new data source types. Offers the facility of joining several data sources in a single query, as well as breaking complex problems into a set of short queries easy to debug. It offers easy transformation for conversion of one data type to another, like transforming SQL data to XML data. Here is a difference between IEnumerable versus Iqueryable. For namespace for IEnumerable is system.collection namespace and Iqueryable is system.linq namespace. IEnumerable derives from no-base interface and Iqueryable derives from IEnumerable interface. How does it work? IEnumerable, how IEnumerable work? While querying data from database, IEnumerable executes select query on server side, loads data in memory on client side, and then filter data. Hence does more work and becomes slow. While querying data from database, Iqueryable executes select query on server side with all filters, hence does less work and becomes fast. Suitable for Linq to objects and Linq to XML queries. Iqueryable is for Linq to SQL queries. Custom query IEnumerable does not support, but Iqueryable support using a create query and execute method. Extension method parameter. IEnumerable extension method supports in IEnumerable takes functional object. Extension method supports in IEnumerable takes expression object, that is expression tree. When to use IEnumerable? When querying data from in-memory collection like list and array. When to use Iqueryable? When querying data from out memory like remote database, service collection, etc. Best uses in memory traversal and Iqueryable paging. Here are some of the list of operators, that is query operators. For filtering, you have to use where. For join, you have to use join or group join. Projection operators are select and select many. Sorting operators are order by descending, then by descending, reverse. Grouping operators are group by. Concatenation operators are concate. Aggregation operators are aggregate, average, count, low count, max, minimum, sum. Quantifier operations are all, any, contains. Partition operations are skip, skip while, take, take while. Generation operations are default if empty, empty, range and repeat. Set operations are distinct, except, intersect and union. Quality operators are sequence equal. Element operators are element at or default, first or default, last or default, single or default, and default if empty. Where used for filters value based on a predicate function. For example, you can see here db.mytable.where x.column name equal to your filter dot select x.column. Join the operator join two sequences on basis of matching keys. Here you can see the example db.table1.join on db.table2 where x is equal to x.id, y is equal to y.postid, x comma y equal to implies new, post equal to x, meta equal to y, dot where z implies z dot post id equal to id. Group join two sequences and group the matching element. Select the operator project values on basis of transform function. Select many, the operator project the sequences of values which are based on a transform function as well as flattens them into a single sequence. Order by, that is sorting by column. For references, you can go through these 4 websites. Thank you for watching.